breaking from the city ground. Tricky Trees faithful, brace yourselves, because what I'm about to reveal is going to shake Nottingham to its very core. A Brazilian maestro who conquered the Premier League is finally escaping his Italian. Nightmare abandoning touring with his bags packed and his heart set on returning to English football where he belongs. A French striker has just declared his undying love for our beloved Reds, confessing in his first interview that he didn't hesitate for even a single second when Forest came calling, choosing us over bigger clubs with deeper pockets. Meanwhile, a former son of Nottingham has been brutally denied his emotional homecoming by bitter Midlands rivals who'd rather keep him rotting on their bench than see him flourish back where his career began. And just when you thought this summer couldn't get any more dramatic, a Spanish defender is being courted with serious money while our recruitment team plays four-dimensional chess with Sevilla's finest negotiators. But here's the absolute kicker. That'll blow your mind. There's whispered talk of a potential swap deal involving one of our own center backs that could reshape our entire defensive strategy for the next 5 years. Each of these earth-shattering developments could redefine not just our starting 11, but the entire trajectory of Nottingham Forest Football Club as we prepare for European competition. If you believe in Forest more than you hate Derby County, if you bleed Garibaldi red more than you fear Leicester City, smash that subscribe button right now and prove your loyalty to the greatest football club in the East Midlands. But hold on tight, because the first revelation cuts deeper than Brian Clough's most brutal team talk, sharper than Stuart Pearce's most crunching tackle, and more shocking than our European Cup victories in 79 and 80. Douglas, Luiz is flying to England as we speak. Medical appointment confirmed, contract negotiations finalized, and Juventus finally admitting their €50 million Brazilian experiment was an absolute catastrophic disaster. The 27-year-old midfielder who terrorized Premier League defenses for 5 magnificent seasons at Aston Villa is about to become our most significant signing since we returned to the top flight, potentially the biggest coup in Forest's modern transfer history. After one absolutely miserable year in Turin, where he couldn't even start 2 consecutive matches under any manager, where he was consistently benched by coaches who never understood his talents, where he managed 0 goals and 0 assists across 27 disappointing appearances, Douglas Luiz made it crystal clear to Juventus hierarchy that his heart, soul and footballing future belongs back in England. The Brazilian international initially refused to even show up for pre-season training last month, forcing the Italian giants to scramble desperately for a face-saving solution that wouldn't leave them with a disgruntled €50 million asset, rotting in their reserves while paying his massive wages. According to transfer guru Fabrizio Romano, David Ornstein from The Athletic, and multiple trusted Italian sources, Forest have brilliantly structured this as an initial loan with obligatory purchase clause deal worth €30 million total, representing a staggering €20 million loss for Juventus, but absolutely genius business from our Evangelos Marinakis and the recruitment masterminds. Think about what this signing means tactically under Nuno Espirito Santo's evolving system. Luiz brings that press-resistant quality in central midfield we've been desperately crying out for since promotion. The technical ability to thread defense splitting, passes between lines that can unlock any stubborn defense in the Premier League. His phenomenal 2023 to 2024 season at Villa, 10 goals, 10 assists, and the creative driving force behind their miraculous Champions League qualification proves beyond doubt he can perform at the absolute highest level when surrounded by the right supportive environment and tactical framework. And let's be brutally honest here, fellow Forest supporters. When did we ever dare imagine we'd be signing a player who was starting for Brazil in Copa America just months ago, representing his country on the biggest stage? This isn't some desperate championship gamble or risky League One punt anymore. This is an emphatic statement that Nottingham Forest Football Club means serious business in European competition, that we're no longer content with mere survival, but genuinely ambitious for continental success. The medical examination is scheduled for Thursday morning, legal paperwork being finalized by our lawyers as I speak. And if everything proceeds according to plan, our new Brazilian midfielder maestro could realistically be in the matchday squad for the crucial Crystal Palace fixture this weekend. Juventus supporters are practically celebrating his departure across social media platforms, calling him their worst signing in recent memory, their biggest transfer mistake, which only makes this incredible acquisition sweeter for us devoted Forest faithful. Sometimes another club's expensive trash truly becomes your absolute treasure, and Douglas Luiz represents the perfect textbook example of a genuinely world-class player simply needing the right environment, the right tactical system, and the right supportive atmosphere to rediscover his undeniable brilliance. Yet that explosive revelation is merely the appetizer for what's coming next, because the main course is even more absolutely delicious, more perfectly seasoned with ambition and quality. Arnaud Kalimuendo has officially put pen to paper on a comprehensive 5-year contract at the City Ground, and his first extensive interview as a Forest player will genuinely give you goosebumps down your spine. The 23-year-old French striker sensation signed for €30.1 million from Rennes after extensive negotiations didn't just casually join our football club. He chose us with his heart, mind, and soul, completely committed to the Garibaldi cause and our European ambitions. When asked directly about his decision to reject multiple other interested clubs with bigger budgets and commit entirely to Forest, Kalimuendo's heartfelt response was pure poetry in motion. The kind of passionate declaration that reminds you why football remains beautiful. When my agent first mentioned Nottingham Forest's serious interest, I was immediately honored and incredibly proud, because I knew absolutely everything they had achieved last season and exactly what it meant. For a club with such incredible legendary history, I told my agent I was very interested and didn't need much persuasion whatsoever. But here's the part that absolutely proves this talented young man truly understands what it means to wear the sacred Garibaldi red with pride. After speaking extensively with the recruitment team, including the legendary Edu, I was immediately convinced and didn't take long to make my final decision. To be completely honest, I didn't hesitate for even a single second when this golden opportunity arose, and I'm absolutely delighted to be here at this magnificent club. Those aren't just carefully rehearsed media-trained sound bites designed for headlines. Forest faithful. That's genuine, authentic passion from a proven goal scorer who netted 18 crucial goals and provided 4 assists in 34 competitive games for Rennes last season. Kalimuendo represents absolutely everything we love about modern intelligent football recruitment. Young enough to improve dramatically, hungry enough to prove himself constantly, technically gifted enough to succeed immediately, but still possessing that raw determination and burning ambition to prove himself at the absolute highest level. His explosive pace and intelligent movement in the final third will complement Chris Wood's physical presence and aerial ability perfectly, while his tactical versatility across the entire front line gives Nuno the kind of flexible attacking options we simply didn't possess last season. The French striker grew up watching Premier League football religiously, dreaming constantly of playing against the biggest clubs in the world, and now he gets to live that childhood dream wearing our sacred colors with pride. He'll proudly wear the number 15 shirt, and something deep in my gut tells me that number is destined to become absolutely legendary at the City Ground over the next 5 transformative years. But what genuinely excites me most isn't just his impressive goal-scoring record or his obvious technical ability. It's his winning mentality and professional attitude. In an era where players frequently switch clubs for marginal wage increases or guaranteed Champions League football, here's an exceptional young striker who chose Forest specifically because he believes wholeheartedly in our ambitious project, our rich history, and our genuine potential to achieve something truly special in European competition. But wait, the next devastating update cuts even deeper than Robin Hood's sharpest arrow, more painful than relegation, more infuriating than a last-minute Derby County equalizer. Matty Cash will absolutely not be returning to the City Ground this summer, and the pathetic reason will make your blood boil with pure fury at everything fundamentally wrong with modern football's toxic culture. Our former right back, The local lad who came through our youth system ranks, who bled Garibaldi red for years before his £14 million move to Aston Villa in September 2020, desperately wanted to engineer an emotional homecoming to Nottingham. Cash has been visibly struggling for consistent form at Villa Park, his defensive performances dropping off significantly over the past 18 frustrating months, and multiple reliable reports suggested he was actively seeking a move away from the second city to revive his stagnating career. Forest were perfectly positioned for a romantic reunion that would have satisfied everyone involved. We genuinely needed defensive depth for European competition. He desperately needed a fresh start away from Villa's toxic environment, and the romantic narrative practically wrote itself beautifully. The 28-year-old has featured over 180 times for Villa since his transfer, but his recent form has been wavering dramatically, leading to speculation about his long-term future under Unai Emery's tactical system. But here's where football's ugly financial reality crashes into our beautiful romantic dreams like a reckless Sunday league tackle from behind, shattering hopes and exposing the sport's moral bankruptcy. According to the Telegraph Football Insider and multiple trusted sources, Aston Villa have categorically refused to sell Cash to Forest during these final crucial weeks of the transfer window, despite being publicly willing to let him leave for the right financial package. Why this absolutely disgusting decision? Because Spanish manager Unai Emery currently only has one other natural right back in young promising Spaniard Andres Garcia, who's frustratingly injured at this crucial moment, leaving them desperately short of defensive options heading into their own European campaign. So instead of doing right by a loyal player who clearly wants out, instead of allowing a homegrown talent to return where his heart truly lies and his career began, Villa's hierarchy would rather keep Cash as expensive bench fodder than strengthen a supposed Midlands rival. This shameful decision epitomizes absolutely everything toxic and morally bankrupt about modern football ownership, treating human beings like expendable chess pieces, prioritizing petty regional rivalries over basic player welfare, and demonstrating that loyalty, respect, and human decency mean absolutely nothing when money, ego, and politics take control. Cash earned his move to Villa through years of blood, sweat, and countless tears in a Forest shirt, but apparently that means nothing when it comes to basic human decency and professional respect. The experienced defender will now spend another frustrating season knowing he's not genuinely wanted, knowing he's actively blocking his own career progression, all because his current employers are too proud and petty to admit they made a tactical mistake. This isn't just about one individual player anymore. It's about fundamental respect, basic integrity, and remembering that football is supposed to be about much more than cold balance sheets and pathetic political point scoring. And here's where this dramatic story takes an absolutely delicious twist of sweet revenge that'll make you believe in karma. Jose Angel Carmona from Sevilla is now in advanced talks to join the Tricky Trees. And this potential signing could genuinely be even better than the Cash reunion we thought we desperately wanted. The 23-year-old Spanish right back represents absolutely everything modern football recruitment should be about. Young enough to improve dramatically, talented enough to succeed immediately, hungry enough to prove himself constantly, and crucially available for the right price rather than held hostage by petty regional rivalries and political games. According to transfer expert Fabrizio Romano, trusted Spanish sources, and ABC Sevilla, Forest have confidently tabled an official opening bid of €9 million plus €2 million in performance-related add-ons, with Sevilla reportedly willing to include a generous 15% sell-on clause to sweeten the overall deal structure. But here's what makes this potential signing absolutely brilliant strategic business. Carmona isn't just a replacement for the Cash deal that never materialized. He's potentially a massive upgrade on what we originally thought we were getting. From Villa, the Spain under-21 international has been Sevilla's first choice right back, consistently playing at the absolute highest level of European competition, regularly facing the likes of Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Atletico Madrid in La Liga. His defensive statistics from last season were genuinely impressive across multiple metrics, demonstrating exactly the kind of consistent work rate and tactical discipline that Nuno Espirito Santo demands from his attacking fullbacks. Unlike Cash, who would have arrived carrying significant emotional baggage from a difficult recent period at Villa, Carmona comes fresh, properly motivated, and genuinely eager to prove himself in the Premier League's demanding environment. The versatile defender's profile fits Forest's long-term recruitment strategy perfectly, targeting young talents with massive potential rather than expensive quick fixes. His pace, defensive solidity, and attacking thrust down the right flank could unlock entirely new tactical dimensions under Nuno's evolving system. And here's the beautiful irony that makes this situation absolutely perfect. While Villa stubbornly cling to a player who clearly doesn't want to be there, Forest are about to sign a younger, potentially superior alternative who's genuinely excited about joining our ambitious project. Sometimes the best transfer business happens when your original target falls through completely, forcing you to discover hidden gems you never knew existed in the market. But hold on tight, because the final piece of this intricate transfer jigsaw is where things get absolutely mental, where genius level planning meets opportunistic brilliance. Forest are reportedly considering a straight swap deal with Sevilla that could see David Carmo head into Spain while Carmona travels in the opposite direction to Nottingham. According to Go, multiple Spanish sources and well-connected journalists, Sevilla have specifically identified our Portuguese centre-back as the perfect replacement for departed defender Loic Bade, with both players valued at approximately 10 to 12 million euros in the current market. This isn't just smart business, it's absolutely genius squad management that kills two birds with one perfectly aimed stone, solving multiple problems simultaneously. Carmo, despite his obvious talent, impressive physical attributes, and massive potential, has struggled for consistent game time at the City ground, often finding himself behind more established centre-backs in Nuno's preferred tactical system, and defensive partnerships. Rather than allow a promising defender with genuine ability to stagnate on our bench, potentially losing value and confidence, this potential swap would give him a fresh start in La Liga's demanding environment while simultaneously solving our right-back situation with a player perfectly suited to Premier League football's intensity. The financial implications are equally brilliant from a business perspective. Instead of paying 9 million euros plus substantial add-ons for Carmona while receiving minimal return on Carmo's significant investment, Forest would essentially be trading like for like in terms of squad value while upgrading significantly in a position of genuine need. Sevilla would receive a versatile centre-back with valuable Premier League experience and massive resale potential, while we would land a Spanish international with extensive European competition pedigree and 5 years of peak performance ahead of him. But what makes this potential deal absolutely perfect is the timing element. Both clubs need to move quickly before the transfer window slams shut definitively, creating exactly the kind of mutually beneficial urgency that often produces the most successful football business. If Marinakis and our recruitment team can successfully pull off this sophisticated swap arrangement, it'll represent exactly the kind of shrewd, intelligent dealing that separates genuinely successful clubs from those still learning how to operate efficiently at the highest level. Mark my words with absolute confidence. This potential exchange could be the crucial difference between a merely good transfer window and an absolutely legendary one that sets Forest up for sustained years of European success and domestic competitiveness. Forest faithful, if these 5 seismic developments have already left you completely breathless, if your heart is racing with excitement and anticipation, just imagine what the next 72 crucial hours might bring to our beloved City ground. Douglas Luiz represents exactly the kind of world-class midfield addition that Champions League clubs dream about during long summer nights, while Callum Wendo's arrival signals our genuine intent to compete seriously with Europe's established elite. The Cash saga, though initially disappointing and frustrating, has ultimately led us to potentially superior alternatives in Carmona, proving definitively that sometimes football's cruelest rejections open doors to even brighter opportunities we never anticipated. And if this sophisticated swap deal materializes successfully, it'll demonstrate conclusively that Forest aren't just buying success randomly. We're building it intelligently, sustainably, and with exactly the kind of long-term vision that transforms good clubs into genuinely great ones. These aren't random signings thrown together frantically during the final panic-stricken weeks of August transfer madness. This represents methodical, strategic squad building that honors our incredible European Cup winning history while positioning Nottingham Forest for a future worthy of our legendary status. Brian Clough built absolute miracles with unwavering determination, tactical genius, and unshakable belief in his players' abilities. Today's Forest are building something equally special with smart recruitment, financial stability, and exactly the same never say die spirit that defines this magnificent football club's DNA. Tricky trees, if you believe this revolution is only just beginning, if you sense something special building at the city ground, prove your undying passion by smashing that like button, sharing this video with every Forest supporter you know, and subscribing immediately to join our rapidly growing community of believers. The next 72 hours could completely reshape everything we thought we knew about our club's potential. And together we're going to witness every magnificent moment of this incredible journey from championship strugglers to legitimate European contenders. This is our time, this is our moment, and this is exactly why we support the greatest football club in the world. Come on, you Reds!